Welcome to the Forevermore Homes educational video, a home for aging in place. In this video, we'll cover what we mean when we use the term aging in place, the common obstacles to aging in place, the key features of an age-in-place ready home, how to plan to age in place, and finally, the benefits of aging in place. We've already used the term aging in place 6 times, so let's look at what this means. Aging in place is defined by the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the CDC, as the ability to live in one's own home and community safely, independently, and comfortably, regardless of age, income, or ability level. A 2011 AARP article defines aging in place as remaining living in the community with some level of independence rather than in residential care. If you're like the majority of people surveyed by the AARP, you too would prefer to stay in your own home rather than move into a nursing facility. That goal is only attainable when you can continue to safely function at home as your physical abilities decline with age, illness, or injury. Unfortunately, there are many obstacles that stand in the way of aging in place at home. Let's explore some of the common issues we see. For our discussion, we'll group these obstacles into 3 categories: safety concerns, isolation, and support for activities of daily living. Number 1. Safety. Safety is a major concern for aging in place, with falls at the top of the list. Falls are serious and costly. Here are some eye-opening statistics cited by the CDC. 1 out of 5 falls causes a significant injury, such as a broken bone or concussion. Each year, 3 million older people are treated in emergency departments for fall injuries, and over 800,000 patients a year are hospitalized. The medical costs for falls totaled more than $50 billion in 1 year alone. Caregivers can also be seriously injured while attempting to prevent a fall or helping the person up after the fall. Several factors contribute to greater risk of falling as we age, including a decline in physical fitness and balance, impaired vision, and medications, to name a few. There are many trip and fall hazards in the home, such as stepping into a bathtub, slippery flooring, throw rugs and electrical cords, using a step stool, and perhaps the biggest hazard of all, stairs. Other safety concerns include burns while cooking, falling ill and not being able to call for help, and scammers who prey on the elderly. Number 2. Isolation. Aging in place is not just about physical safety within the home. We also need to think about the mental well-being of the individual. Everyone needs social connections to survive and thrive, but as people age, they often find themselves spending more time alone. When it comes to health and mental well-being, loneliness and social isolation can really take a toll on a person, especially the elderly. Studies show that loneliness and social isolation are associated with higher risk for health problems such as heart disease, depression, and cognitive decline. And obstacle number 3, support for activities of daily living. There are many activities we perform as we go about our day, and through most of our adult lives, we take it for granted that we're able to perform these activities without giving them a second thought. But these same activities can become challenging and even dangerous as we age. Healthcare professionals put daily activities into 2 groups: instrumental activities of daily living, or IADLs, and activities of daily living, or ADLs. Some examples are listed here. There will likely come a point where you too will need help with some of your daily activities. This can increase over time, from just occasional assistance from family members to needing round-the-clock care from a home care provider. Having the support of family members is a big factor in one's ability to age in place. But often family members live just too far away to get there quickly when needed, and a long drive can add to caregiver burnout. The good news is that by planning to age in place, we can remove these obstacles and the many challenges and risks they present By planning to age in place, you'll be set up for success before the need is urgent. It's not just the elderly or disabled who are planning to age in place. Empty nesters looking to downsize are hoping that their next home is their forever home. Adult children may be worried about an aging parent who has fallen a couple of times at home. Planning to age in place can seem a bit overwhelming at first, but it truly is attainable with guidance from a trusted resource. Here are 2 success stories that illustrate the possibilities. The story of Nancy and George, who chose to stay and make modifications to their current home, and the story of Donna, who decided to move to a home already more age-in-place friendly. Nancy and George have lived in their single-story ranch for 45 years. They have a close-knit group of neighbors who watch out for each other. They're very active with the senior center in town, playing cards and socializing a few times a week. George was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease 4 years ago. He's doing very well right now, but he and Nancy decided to follow the old adage, plan for the worst and hope for the best. There is a possibility that George will need a wheelchair at some point, so a curbless shower was a top priority for them. Nancy also hoped to bring the laundry upstairs from the basement. After looking at different options for expanding the bathroom within the footprint of their current home, they decided instead to put on an addition. Their financial professional advised them that spending some of their savings on the addition was a prudent use of their funds, and their realtor assured them it would add to resale value someday down the road. The addition gave them the space they needed to add a master bath with a large curbless shower and spacious walk-in closets in the 2 adjacent bedrooms. And now, no more trips to the basement to do laundry, which makes Nancy very happy. Here's Donna's story. Donna and Jim raised their 3 children in a 4-bedroom colonial on a large piece of land on a country road. When Jim passed, Donna knew she couldn't manage the property by herself, nor did she need such a large home. She felt isolated and actually a bit fearful being out in the country alone. She knew she had to make a change. She sold the 2-story colonial and purchased a smaller 1-story ranch in need of updating. She opened up the floor plan, widened the doorways, and installed a large curbless shower in the master bathroom. Donna expanded the existing garage and decided to build out a 1-bedroom suite in the space above. The home sits on a flat lot across the street from an elementary school and is 5 minutes from the highway and center of town. 2 of her 3 kids live within 15 minutes. Donna was only in her early 60s at the time, still working and very active both physically and socially. But she wanted to create a home she'd never have to leave, and that's exactly what she did. Donna always said she'd never want to go to a nursing home, and after seeing the despair during COVID, that goal has become a top priority. She plans to use the space above the garage for an in-home caregiver if and when that time comes, and for now, the space comes in handy when out-of-town guests visit. She feels safer having neighbors within earshot, and watching the children get dropped off at school makes her smile and feel connected to her community. Through these stories, we've illustrated the 5 key components of an age-in-place ready home. 1-level living, wide doorways and hallways, a curbless shower and properly placed grab bars, a private sleeping area for an in-home caregiver, and a neighborhood with a sense of community and close to family support. Let's look more closely at each. Number 1. 1-level living. The home will be on 1 level or have a bedroom and full bath on the main floor. It only makes sense that the fewer trips upstairs, the lower the risk of falling on them. The simplest way to reduce trips upstairs is by having everything we need on 1 level. Number 2. Wide doorways and hallways. 36 inches is ideal. While we hope we never have to use a wheelchair to get around, by creating a clear path through your home, you'll be ready should the need arise. Number 3. A curbless shower and properly placed grab bars. Climbing into a bathtub can be a hazard at any age, Even a threshold to a shower can be a tripping hazard. A curbless shower has no threshold at all. A person can easily roll into the shower using a walker or wheelchair. Safety grab bars can be both functional and beautiful. They can even be disguised as towel racks or toilet paper holders. Most importantly, with proper placement and installation, they'll help prevent falls in the bathroom. Number 4. Private sleeping area for an in-home caregiver. Let's revisit the AARP description of aging in place. Remaining living in the community with some level of independence rather than in residential care. People move to nursing homes when they get to the point of needing 24-hour care, but you can get round-the-clock care right in your own home with a full-time caregiver rather than moving into a nursing facility. With full-time live-in care, your home is not just a workplace for the caregiver, it becomes their place of residence as well, by offering a comfortable, private suite, a bedroom, bathroom, sitting room, and maybe even a kitchenette. You'll be providing a competitive benefit that will help you attract and retain a quality caregiver. And finally, number 5, location. Ideally, the home will be in a walkable, community-oriented neighborhood close to your support system and healthcare. The sights and sounds of a vibrant neighborhood will help ward off loneliness and isolation. A shorter drive time will lessen the load for your family's support system and prevent caregiver burnout. Of course, there are many other smaller details to consider in planning your age-in-place friendly home, but by focusing on these 5 fundamentals, you'll be well on your way. So, where do you begin in the pursuit of the ideal home in which to age in place? Forevermore Homes helps you answer the question. Will you be better off modifying your current home, like George and Nancy? Or should you move to a home already more age-in-place appropriate, like Donna did? A 2018 AARP survey revealed that 76% of Americans, age 50 and older, prefer to stay in their current residence as long as possible, but only 46% anticipate that they will be able to do so. It's difficult to think about leaving a home where you've built memories. No doubt this is a very emotional decision. But there are some very compelling reasons to consider a move. Your home is too isolated from your neighbors. It's becoming too costly to maintain your property because of its size or age. Your family must drive a long distance when you need help. Or there's no space to create a bedroom and bathroom on the first floor. The reasons to think about staying and modifying are the reverse. Your home is in a lively community of caring and connected neighbors. Your house and property need little ongoing maintenance. You're close to your family's support system, and there is opportunity to create one-level living within the footprint of your home. At this point, though, there are still many questions that need to be answered before you can make your decision. For example, what is my current home worth in today's market, and how much equity do I have? What other housing options are available in my desired area, and how much do they cost? What renovations would be needed in my current home, and what will they cost? What is the long-term financial impact of each decision, and which fits best into our overall financial plan? The team at Forevermore Homes will provide answers to these questions, so you'll have complete confidence in your decision. These are the core members of your Forevermore Homes team: Certified Aging-in-Place Specialist, Home Inspector, Occupational Therapist, Realtor, General Contractor, Interior Designer, and Financial Advisor. We engage other professionals, such as downsizing specialists and smart home technology experts, as needed. Each of your core team members has an important role to play, which you'll see as we take you through the steps in our planning process. Here are the steps in the process leading up to your modify or move decision. The initial consultation with your certified age-in-place specialist, a home inspection, an occupational therapist assessment if you have an illness or disability, design of age-in-place modifications needed for your current home should you stay, a contractor site visit to evaluate the scope of work for the recommended modifications, and a real estate analysis, which includes a market price evaluation on your current home, the estimated value of your home after renovations, and an inventory of other available housing options. Through these 6 steps, we will have gathered all of the information you'll need. And finally, the last step is a review of your options with a financial advisor. This comprehensive process has been thoughtfully designed to empower you to make the best decision for you and your family. Let's look at each step in more detail. Our process for working with you starts with an in-home consultation, facilitated by our certified aging-in-place specialist. The purpose is to get an initial understanding of your current situation and your objectives going forward. Together, we will explore what you like about your current home and neighborhood, the challenges you are having or foresee having in your home, the members and location of your support system, your goals and objectives for aging in place, the changes you'd like to see in your current home if you were to stay, and your preferences in a new home should you decide to move. We'll then provide you with an overview of our process, timeline, and fees, so you'll know what to expect if you decide to engage our services. Ideally, we would include members of your support system in this meeting, family or home caregivers, to get as much input as possible. Also, making this a family discussion can be quite helpful when seniors and their adult children have differences in opinion on what should happen. Your certified aging-in-place specialist can calm emotions and bring objectivity to this important family conversation. By the end of this meeting, you'll have all the information you need to decide if it makes sense to move forward with our services. If that answer is yes, here's what will happen next. A licensed home inspector will conduct a thorough inspection of the home to identify general maintenance or safety issues. Why is this important? Well, if your decision is to modify, it makes sense to look at the total condition of your home, so any maintenance issues like a leaky roof or failing furnace can be addressed during renovations. If your decision is to move, you'll be able to remedy any maintenance issues prior to listing, so when your buyer does their own inspection, it'll be squeaky clean, and you'll be better positioned to get top dollar for your home. The home inspector will also conduct a slip and fall assessment, identifying physical hazards as they move through the house. Lastly, during this visit, the inspector will use special technology to create a floor plan diagram of your home. This will serve as a starting point for planning renovations, should you stay, or will be included with your listing if you decide to move. If you have an illness or disability, the occupational therapist will visit your home and assess your needs with a greater understanding of your medical condition. The OT tells us how your condition may impact your functioning in the home, now and in the future. This input is very important as we are forming our recommendations. For example, in the story of George and Nancy, the OT informed us that turning can be difficult with Parkinson's, so we designed a straight pathway for George into the bedroom and bathroom. With the results of the age-in-place and OT assessments in hand, the designer will develop the plans for the modifications that will be needed to age in place in your home. The designer will create a plan in an architectural software program, enabling you to see realistic 3D visualizations of the completed project. You can see different material choices, like tile, for example, visually, which will help you with design choices that you'll enjoy for years to come. The plans then go to our general contractor, who will schedule the subcontractors to come to your home to get a first-hand view of the work to be completed. The GC will obtain competitive quotes from subcontractors in every specialty needed for the project. This can include carpenters, electricians, and plumbers, and suppliers of equipment such as ramps or chairlifts if needed. Our realtor will perform what is called a comparative market analysis, or CMA for short. This looks at other similar homes that have recently sold to estimate the current market value of your home. Knowing the equity you have in your home is important in case you need to draw on that equity to finance renovations or put down toward a new home. He or she will then estimate the market value of your home after the renovations have been completed to understand the return on your investment in those renovations. Lastly, if moving is a consideration, the Realtor will prepare an inventory of other suitable homes that meet your criteria currently available in the market. Now we have all of the key pieces of information you'll need to make your modify or move decision: the completed age-in-place assessment, the cost of the renovations that would be needed, the current market value of your home and the estimated value after renovations, the cost of other housing options available in the current market, and your personal preferences, those intangible but important emotional considerations. Together, we'll meet with your financial advisor or accountant to understand the financial implications of your decision. We'll present all of the information gathered so your advisor can guide you on choosing the option that best fits with your overall financial goals. Above all else, your advisor will want to be sure that you'll have enough money left for living expenses throughout your life expectancy after paying for your modification or move. And if you've not already worked with an advisor, we can refer you to a professional within our network. Now it's decision time. Will you modify or will you move? No doubt it takes a lot of planning and communication to get to this point. Your certified aging-in-place specialist is your single point of contact throughout the evaluation and beyond. We manage every step for you, taking as much burden and stress as possible off your shoulders. Whether you decide to modify or move, Forevermore Homes will organize and manage the process from start to successful conclusion. There are so many benefits to aging in place in the home, for you, for your caregivers, and for your community in general. With help from family, friends, and professional caregivers, you can maintain independence by having control over your routine, activities, and life decisions. Your home provides a sense of familiarity, comfort, and security. Aging in place tends to improve one's quality of life, which improves physical health. You'll also be insulated from the spread of disease that can be rampant in a nursing home. Aging in place is typically much less expensive than a nursing facility. A private space in which to rest and recharge will be greatly appreciated by your full-time caregiver. And you'll be providing a safe environment, which will reduce the risk of a workplace injury. Healthcare managers and government officials have identified 5 pillars that represent the social determinants of health: economic stability, education access and quality, healthcare access and quality, neighborhood and built environment, and social and community context. These are conditions in the environment that affect a wide range of health, functioning, and quality of life outcomes for the population in general. Aging in place has a positive impact on at least 3 of these 5 pillars. So, by aging in place, we even contribute to the health of our society. Aging in place. It just makes sense. Contact us anytime to learn more.